Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to dive deep into the hidden architecture that actually makes AI coding assistants work. You know, if you've ever used an AI tool to help you write code and thought to yourself, wow, this feels like magic, well, today we're pulling back the curtain. We're looking specifically at the absolute engineering marvel behind GitHub Copilot and Visual Studio Code. Because, as it turns out, it's not just about the AI model itself. It's really about the invisible machinery surrounding it.
So every single time a new AI model drops, whether we're talking OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, whoever, the entire tech world immediately asks the exact same things, right? Is it the fastest? Is it the smartest? We basically treat these models like racehorses, constantly comparing their top speeds and raw brain power. And hey, sure, those are really useful questions when you're just looking at raw, isolated benchmarks. But for a deeply integrated product like Visual Studio Code, actually scratch that. It is entirely the wrong question to be asking. The AI model is honestly only one fraction of the actual agentic coding experience you're having in your editor. What truly determines whether an AI assistant is a massive help or just a frustrating mess isn't just the raw intelligence of the model.
Because when you really think about it, language models cannot actually edit files or run tests on their own. They don't have hands. They just generate text. That's it. The real hero here is what's called the coding harness. This is the vital bridge between your code editor and the AI. It literally takes the text the AI spits out and translates it into tangible, real-world action inside your workspace.
Section 1. Meet the coding harness.
In VS Code, this harness handles 3 monumental tasks before you ever see a single line of code generated on your screen. And look, if any one of these fails, the whole AI experience completely breaks down. Let's quickly walk through exactly what each of these steps actually looks like in practice. First up is context assembly. Now, before the AI model even gets your request, the harness is frantically running around building the perfect prompt. It gathers up your entire workspace structure, the languages you're using, your frameworks, which editors you currently have open right now. It pulls in your conversation history and your custom instructions. The harness is making the absolute critical decisions about what the model actually gets to see. And those decisions directly dictate the quality of the answer you're going to get.
Next, it handles tool exposure and execution. The harness exposes available tools to the AI using JSON schemas. It essentially says to the model, hey, here's a list of things you can do, like reading a file or running a terminal command. And when the model replies and asks to actually edit a file or run a shell command, well, it's the harness that steps in, spawns the process, executes the command, and captures the output to feed right back to the AI.
Section 2. The agent loop explained.
To keep all these incredibly complex tasks orchestrated, the harness relies on a very specific looping mechanism. At its core, it runs this relentless, repeating cycle. The agent thinks about the prompt, it acts by calling a tool, it observes the results that the harness feeds back to it, and then it loops right back around to think again. This tool calling loop just keeps spinning until the task is totally done, or until the AI realizes it doesn't need to call any more tools.
It's incredibly fascinating to realize the difference between a turn and a round here. Because what feels like a single chat turn to us, asking a question and getting an answer, might actually be dozens of hidden rounds under the surface. Behind the scenes, that model is rapidly searching files, reading your code, making an edit, running a test, seeing the test fail, and iterating on those failures. Literally all before it finally types its answer back to you. It's wild.
Section 3. Taming multiple AI models. Now, this brings up a massive headache. GitHub Copilot isn't locked into just one AI, right? And these models act like absolute divas with totally different demands for how they want to work. For example, if an Anthropic Claude model wants to edit your code, it outright demands a tool command called replace string in file. But an OpenAI GPT model, no way, it wants to use a completely different tool called apply patch. The harness has to seamlessly translate and accommodate all these varying preferences on the fly.
And the diva behavior doesn't stop there. Google's Gemini model? It needs constant reminders in its prompt just to use the tools properly instead of, just narrating what it would do. And different versions of Claude, say Sonnet versus Opus, require entirely different system prompts just to stay on track. So the harness is constantly dynamically swapping out system instructions, tool sets, and memory management depending entirely on which model you happen to select from the dropdown.
Section 4. Grading real-world AI.
With all these moving parts and constant model updates, how do engineers actually know if a new AI model or a tweak to the harness is actually any good in the real world? Well, public benchmarks simply aren't enough anymore. Public tests like SW-Bench or Terminal Bench are great starting points for measuring raw capability, for sure. But they're often just isolated puzzles. They absolutely do not test for real messy developer workflows. Things like scaffolding entire new projects, migrating codebases, or refactoring logic across multiple files in a super complex folder structure.
And that is exactly why Microsoft built VSC-Bench. It's this offline evaluation suite that containerizes the actual VS Code workspace. So instead of just checking if code compiles, it grades models on real product metrics. Did it correctly solve a complex VS Code task? How many hidden rounds of effort did it take? Was it actually efficient with tokens, or did it just waste resources? And most importantly, was the latency fast enough that a developer wouldn't just get bored and walk away?
Now, interestingly, the data from VSC-Bench revealed something totally surprising about the effort sweet spot, because you'd probably think more AI thinking is always better, right? Well, benchmark data shows that cranking up a model's reasoning effort to extra high actually consumes way more tokens, but resolves slightly fewer coding tasks. It's crazy, but it proves there is a definitive sweet spot for AI thinking where extra effort just no longer converts into better outcomes.
The engineering team relies on this data so heavily, they built an automated loop for their own human developers. Check this out. If a coder tweaks the harness and submits a pull request, they just add a specific label. An automated pipeline instantly builds a custom eval agent, runs the grueling VSC-Bench, and posts the performance results right back to the pull request. It guarantees the harness is always getting better and never regressing. So ultimately, this entire explainer really boils down to one simple, brilliant truth from the source material. The model is the engine. The harness is the car. Think about it. You can have the most powerful V8 engine in the world, but without a steering wheel, a transmission, and tires, you aren't going anywhere. The harness is the car you are actually driving when you code.
And honestly, the best part? You can actually peek under the hood and see all this in action today. Inside VS Code, you can open up the Tools UI or the Chat Debug view. It completely strips away the magic and lets you inspect the raw prompts, the JSON schemas, and the exact tool calls happening in real time. I highly recommend checking it out just to see exactly how your AI assistant is thinking.
Which leaves us with one final thought to close out this explainer. Now that you understand the AI is really just the raw engine and the harness is what actually gets the work done, what custom tool are you going to build to plug into this incredible machine? The possibilities are literally endless. Thanks so much for exploring this with us, and happy coding!